right, Perek Aleph. We're starting from the beginning right now. Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. From the beginning, from the first chapter in the Tanya, after the Hakdama of the Baal Tanya, the beautiful Hakdama. We're starting from the beginning. Now, just a word of direction over here. This is called Sifram Shel Beinonim. Basically, this is explaining to us this Sefer will explain to us the madrigot that exist in the Mitzad HaNefashot. But really, the Beinoni is what the Sefer is all about. What is the Beinoni? Is it a tzaddik? Is it a rasha? Is it someone with potential to be a tzaddik? Is it someone with the potential to be a Beinoni? What does that mean exactly? Whatever it means is that it's ki karov elecha hadavar me'od beficha v'lavcha la'asasa. Meaning, whatever that definition means of a Beinoni, which in Hebrew means middle, which is no big thrill. Hey, you want to become a middle? You know, want to become an in-between? Average, yeah. Whatever that means, we're going to understand it through the pasuk that whatever it is, it's beheseg yad. It's close to you, to achieve, to become, to get to, and that's how the Alter Rebbe began. That's how he founded the Sefer with the Akdamas that he used to enter into where we're going right now. So,
what if we define Beinoni as balanced?
You could define it a million things, but we have to learn first inside what it means. Okay. Perek Aleph Tanya. So it says like this. Tanya Besof Perek Gimel de Nida. So it's brought down in the end of the third chapter in Masechta Nida. Mashbi'in also Tehi Tzadik ve'al Tehi Rasha. He is sworn. Who's he? The neshama of the Vlad, before the neshama comes out into the world. Kodem sheyotzer, right before it comes out to the world. Tehi tzadik ve'al tehi rasha. Be a tzadik and don't be a rasha. That's what he's saying. That's how the Gemara. That's what the Mishnah says over there. The end of it there it says, it's sworn, be a tzadik and don't be a rasha. Every single neshama before it comes out into the world. And then he continues here, and even if the whole world tells you that you're a tzaddik, in your own eyes, you should view yourself as a rasha. That's not so fun. It doesn't seem so positive, optimistic, doesn't feel so Baal Shem Tov. You know, it's not like this is the line through which Chassidus is going to draw the light. So we'll see what he says over here. We need to understand because it's very, very hard. It's brought down in Avos and Perek Bed. There was this last week's Pirkei Avos. Meaning the end of this brace is like this. It says, before we learned, even if the whole world tells you that you're a tzaddik, in your own eyes you should be like you should see yourself like a rasha. But here it's brought down and it brought in Masechta Avos and says, don't self-persecute yourself. Al tehi rasha bifnei atzmacha. Meaning no one should hold themselves to be a rasha. V'gam im yeh beinav kerasha. But what would happen? It's not only like because there's a stira here, it seems, between Masechta Nida and Masechet Avot, but furthermore, v'gam im yeh beinav kerasha, the Alter Rebbe says, if he'll be a rasha in his own eyes, yera levavo v'yeh atzev. It cannot be that the point we're trying to achieve is that a person reaches a state of atzilus. And he uses here language that's very hard. Yera levavo. How do we understand those words? Yera levavo.
Become depressed.
Yeah. Melancholy, yeah. V'lo yuchal avot Hashem b'simcha u'v'tuv levav. And he won't be able to serve Hashem with simcha u'v'tuv levav, which is the goal. Remember, in Parshat Kitavo, we explained that all these klalas, right? The way Chassidus understands all the klalot, all the curses that comes down onto a person is why? Tachat asher lo avat et Hashem elokecha b'simcha v'tuv levav. Meaning, according to the Pshat, it's because you did things wrong, you didn't listen, b'chulei. According to Pnimius, according to Arizal, Chassidus, the Alter Rebbe is all myron on this. It's tachas, it's because asher lo avat Hashem elokecha b'simcha v'tuv levav. So what we're trying to understand is, the Tanya opens up by quoting this piece from Masechta Nida. How could it be that what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to look at ourselves, see ourselves as Rishayim, or should we stay far away from it? It seems obviously much more on par with the second piece we learned is much more calling out to us, because it can't be that we're supposed to get into a place where we really feel so depressed that it prevents us from serving Hashem b'simcha. Okay. Ve'im lo yira levavo klal mizeh. However, on the other hand, im lo yira levavo klal mizeh, if yira levavo doesn't just mean depressed, but it means nervous or how does he say over there? Yeshua yira levavo?
Grieved.
Sorry?
Grieved
by this, meaning bothered by it. If you're not bothered at all from seeing how far you are, yachol lavo lidei kalus chas v'shalom. Kalut means kalus rosh, meaning ease. You're not going to take it too seriously, and you won't be infused to want to get your act together. So obviously, what's the word that you used in the beginning to describe a Beinoni?
Balance.
So we're obviously beginning this journey with seeing both sides of the spectrum and trying to understand how we can really tag on to what Chazal were saying in the healthiest way. So it's very good. Yeah, Eli.
On the page here, it says paragraph, it says Shaklu Tanya, Luki Hamadregas. Is that part of the title? Like, was that added by the author?
No, that's theirs. That's Chassidus Mevoeres before they start a perek. Okay. So they have their own ideas of, okay, I'm gonna label this perek like this. They do this with every single. Not only in the beginning of prakim, you'll see they chop up each chelik to like 5 or 6 pieces, and they have Rashi prakim. So we understand what the problem is from each side. Weiter, we can continue. Listen, I just want to say something. With Tanya learning it inside, you have to stop me, please, if something's not clear. Just because when you're used to a certain lashon, you could flow with it more. And with other svarim, we take our time, slowly, every single word, like the B'nai Machshava Tova, spending 2 years on a few thin lines. With the Tanya, it's not like that. So if something's not clear, mamash, we can't move forward, okay?
Can I just make a comment back on the Al-Tahi Russia? It seems like they're saying is obviously you can't allow yourself to become actually a Russia, even if the whole world is telling you you're a tzaddik in your eyes, not the vavcha, the necha, karasha.
Interesting.
In other words, it's saying just
interesting.
Remind yourself, not in your heart, but from
Right.
the outside, the necha, from the
Right.
outside. Right? It's almost like
That could be,
Yeah,
yeah.
but speaking to an unborn soul. That's all it said.
Mashbi'in it, right? That's gewalt.
I don't know, but it's also an instruction for life.
right.
Right, but you are talking to something that's not looking at the world the way that, when we're reading this, we're like, oh yeah, of course, I relate to people, I see myself somewhere. Yeah, Ellie.
It's just an observation, I have no idea where to go with it at all. Because Masechus Nida, I think it's women, right? And the mother usually is building the kid up. And here it's giving mutter.
Wow.
Right? In Pirkei Avos, as you would think would be giving the kid, it's going the other way.
He's going the other way, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Listen, I'm so happy that all this stuff is recorded. Not so that my great-great-grandchildren hear their great-great-grandfather's voice, but that we have Chidushei Stone all day non-stop. Baruch Hashem. Now, in order to understand what this is all about, that a person has to be a Rasha in his own eyes, we have to figure out what a Rasha even means. What a tzaddik means. Now we have to start right away, begin to understand and define how these things pan out. Acha'inyan. Kehina matzina b'Gemara, it's brought down in the Gemara, Hey Chalukos. 5 different chalukot, 5 different differentiations, 5 different definitions. Tzaddik v'tovlo, a tzaddik and things are working for him, right? It's good for him in this world. Tzaddik v'ralo, that it's bad for him in this world, but he's a tzaddik. Rasha v'tovlo, a rasha, but gewalt, he seems to be smooth sailing in this world, which I always feel like that's the most common, definition of our. In Olam Hazeh, it looks like there's a lot of Rishoim v'tov lahem. A lot. Rasha v'ralo, a Rasha and it's bad for him. And Beinoni. This he brings down from the Gemara. This is 5 different chalukos. 5 different dargot, 5 different levels in Bnei Yisrael and Am Yisrael. Upershu b'Gemara, and they explained in the Gemara over there in Daf Zayin Amud Aleph, what is a tzaddik v'tovlo? Let's go level by level. What is a tzaddik v'tovlo? A tzaddik v'tovlo is a tzaddik gamur. a complete and total tzaddik. Tzaddik viralo, tzaddik she'eno gamur. A tzaddik that is not completely a tzaddik. What's the difference between the two? We're going to see something right now. Uberaya mehemna pashas mishpatim, that's in the Zohar. Pirish, what does it mean? Tzaddik viralo, shehara shebo kafuf latov. Now this is fundamental in understanding a world of definitions by the Alter Rebbe. All right, it's mamash fundamental in understanding it. The word kafuf. Does anyone know what that word means? Subjugated. Kafuf means it's pushed to, it's coerced, meaning. Subservient to, very good. Meaning, tzaddik viralo, a tzaddik, but it's bad for him in this world, means shehara shebo kafuf latov. He has bad in him, some kind of bad, but it's kafuf latov. What's a better word now that we understand in this context? Or how did he use it over here?
Suffers. It explained that the righteous man who suffers is one whose evil nature is subservient to his good nature.
Now, those of you who have this Chassidus Mevaeres, okay? Look inside on the bottom over here where it says like this. The Perush on this. And if you don't have it, just listen out loud.
Which
Nun Aleph. Right beneath Uberaya Mehemna. Mevuar Bazar, Bechelek Anikra Raya Mehemna. It's brought down on the Zohar, in the piece of the Zohar that's called Raya Mehemna, Shehatoar Tzadik Viralo, Musav Lorak al Matzavo Agashmi Shel Tzadik. We're not just speaking about the Gashmi, materialistic situation the Tzadik finds himself, that Nebuch life is hard, life, Parnasa, shit, whatever. Elagama Majregas HaTzadik, Umahuso HaPnimis Bavodaso Iskono. We're also speaking about in the inside of him, his essence, there's something that there's Ra there. Ulefizeh, Tzadik Viralo, Perusho Shehara Shebo, Hu Lo. Meaning Tzadik, Vera, he has Ra, but it's Lo. It's to him. He has it conquered. Okay? Lo Kafuf Elav, Hainu Latov Shebo. The bad that he might have in him is completely under his control.
He's a governor.
Yeah, he's total governor.
No, beyond under his control. He uses it for the government. Right?
Oh, that's okay. That's your parish.
No, but subservient means that it's subservient. It's used as a servant for him. I mean, I'm just trying to think.
Right, but that's still with the English translation. It's still not. It's not pshat what the Alter Rebbe is saying, but it could, meaning yesh matzav that could be a mitziyut, no doubt. But let's just go with this parish for a second. Kach shelara ein shum shlita v'deya alav. Meaning, most of us, when we have some kind of a David, do you mind? I want to see your beautiful poem. Moshe, move for a little bit. Sorry. Refuah Shlema, I still want to see you. Hara shebo, well, this means that it's in him, however, it has no effect on his life at all. It has no shlita on the way he thinks, on the way he acts, on what he speaks, on what he says, on his actions. But that's how we understand tzaddik vera lo. The ra that he has is kafuf. He has it.
Is the parish going to explain what the relationship is between that and the tzaddik v'tovlo?
Yeah, but you before we continue, what would you think it is?
I mean, I would think that my understanding is that we're supposed to be able to use that, we'll call it the Yetzer Hara or whatever else, we're supposed to be able to use it and have it do mitzvos and serve God as well. But if it's subservient, I would think that, I'm not so sure, it's a very subtle difference maybe.
Well, that you're under the assumption that the tzaddik has a Yetzer Hara. The tzaddik v'tovlo.
My understanding is that the ideal is that we are forcing the Yetzer Hara to serve God as well. Not that the ideal is to get rid of the Yetzer Hara, but it could be I'm wrong.
Well, it seems like you either have the Yetzer Hara that's active, that you're actively suppressing, or you don't have such a strong...
I'm going to pause everything right now. Pause everything right now. We have to chuck our understandings out of here in order to understand anything here. Our understandings are... Let's just see how he looks at it, because Nachon, the world that we were raised in, our understandings, is that even the greatest tzaddik in the world has a Yetzer Hara. Right? And it's a shayla of how does he conquer it, and what does he do with it, right? The tzaddik v'tovlo in the Tanya is a world that none of us can, well, I shouldn't say none of us. I can't relate to for my life. Maybe you guys can. I don't know. But it's a different understanding of Yitzarim, tzaddik, v'chule. And therefore we need to just receive what he's saying first before we try to lehatim the kelim that we were used to understanding things and try to implement it into here. Because it's hard. It's very difficult. It's very, very hard. But we have to give him a chance. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're right. This is mamash. You're right. We're going to try to see though how he brings it down. V'hainu. In the bottom paragraph in Chassidus Mevaeres. Shelefi hazohar. The difference between these two levels, tzaddik gamor v'she'eno gamor, eno be'inyan shel maaseh. It's not on the level of action because they're both act out as tzaddikim. Shel tzaddik gamor ein avonos klal. Tzaddik gamor, according to the Tanya, ein lo avonos klal. Okay, he doesn't have any avonos. Ve'ilu tzaddik she'eno gamor yesh miyut avonos. He's saying over here. Ki b'foal, meaning practically, actuality, l'shneim ein avonos klal. Meaning really, there's no avonos by either of them. Ela, ha'evdel hu b'inyan nafshi yoter. We're speaking more on a soul level, not on an action level, in terms of what they end up doing. What they both end up doing is tzidkus. But where the levels of souls over here. Usually we look at people and divide them into categories based on how their soul manifested through their actions and what actions they have or did do or didn't do. Here, the chalukah is based on the level of soul. Madregas neshamas.
Meaning what? In terms of on a typal level?
No, not type of.
I think.
Yeah, of
I think
course.
that like the tzaddik, according to the Alter Rebbe, is like it's a different genre of a person. It's not like let's assume we're all Beinoni. Somebody, okay, let's assume we're all Beinoni. And we throw out the term, hey tzaddik, if you're kovashitz or you do something good, I don't think it's b'chlal what he's talking about. A tzaddik is a completely different genre of a type of person, and then within it there's this small chiluk, which I think is hard to grasp because.
So I'm not asking about that. So what are we talking about then in terms of the nefesh level? What's he talking about here?
We have to have a lot of patience, guys. We have to see him. Yeah, Ellie.
So it's really interesting. What he's done, he's taking a classic, but the classic problem is the problem of evil.
Right.
The problem is the appearances of the world don't stem right with everything we're taught about how the world is supposed to look. He's completely interiorized the entire framework. He said, this is all about the inside. I'm talking to you about the makeup of your soul. I'm not talking to you about how things look on the outside, or even how things look in the world of mitzvahs on the outside.
That's why it's like mashbin also before he's even in this world, because that's basically his framework. There's the root of his soul. It's before he comes and does anything in this world. That's how he begins the whole Tanya, and from the inside. But that inside, that had an experience with this hashba. Right? Before it came out into this world, the swearing, it's still like a dance that we have to work through while we're in this world, where everything seems like it's outside. Yeah, it's a complete threat here to. Well, who is this? Who is this type of talk threatening the most? Definitely behavioral psychologists, maybe anyone that has any makes avchanot, which means
Distinction.
What's that?
Distinctions.
Sorry?
Discernments.
Discernments based on what they see.
An intellectual.
You said that.
I don't think this is easy.
I was thinking about you.
It's not easy for us either. This is tough.
Well, it's easy. This is easy stuff, right? אלא ההבדל הוא בעניין נפשי יותר. היינו עד כמה ביטל הצדיק את הרע שבליבו פנימה. We're speaking about how much the tzaddik have mevatel the ra that's deep down inside his heart. Tzaddik gamor nikra tzaddik v'tovlo. Why is he called a tzaddik v'tovlo? And listen to the next line, and this is going to be hard. I'm just warning you. There are a few lines be very, very hard for many of us. Lefi shebitel et hara shebelibo legamre ad she'en lo ra klal velo nishar belibo el hatov bilvad. The tzaddik v'tov lo. That's all he has. That's all he has left. Masha'en ken tzaddik she'eno gamor. But it's not the case by a tzaddik she'eno gamor. Pa'al rak lekofef et hara shebelibo. He only worked to suppress the ra that's in his heart until it became batel letov shebo ve'eno mashpia alav klal. However, aval mikol makom adain kayam bo hara. The ra is still there. It's just completely in control.
It reminds me of the cheeseburger shit we had.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wait, remind me. But how was it?
Do you have a timer for cheeseburgers, or have you completely removed that from being, in calculation? Like your holy son spoke on Shabbos, the same idea. It like when it comes to now the ultimate place where it's like I don't think about that cheeseburger.
Right.
But imagine the tzaddik She'eno Gamor still maybe has a title for the cheeseburger or has something in.
But it could never come out.
I'm kovesh the title for the cheeseburger, but I'm not going to eat the cheeseburger because I've been kovesh it.
Right, meaning I would never eat it, right?
The tzaddik v'tov is like not even.
Well, let's think about it more tachlis in our olam hazeh. A person can acknowledge that a woman is pretty, but it's not a mitzias in his head that he would ever. That's the tzaddik, right? The tzaddik viralo is like, yeah, that could be seen as something that can mess with my my heart, not my mind, right? But it's not a mitzias. It's not like the tzaddik v'tovlo. It's not in the same category. It's a different genre of an Hashem. Like the word you used, like it's a different.
I think I heard that from Dr. Yolman once.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good way to.
It's great. It's just not. Yeah.
Something like this, maybe in terms of mechanism, right?
Yeah.
What you're supposed to do, I've heard it said, you're supposed to do, if you see, say, a beautiful woman, immediately bring it back to Hashem.
Right.
This is different,
Right.
right? The tzaddik doesn't go through that two-step.
Right.
It's right there.
Nachon.
At the same time.
Nachon. Simultaneously.
So
Absolutely.
is it right there, or does the tzaddik not see the woman?
He sees a woman, but that it doesn't mehaveh. It doesn't.
Instantiate.
I wish we just spoke one language. He sees the woman, but the effect is not. It doesn't trigger.
Which one?
The tzaddik v'tovlo. The tzaddik v'tovlo.
Right.
It's not a. It doesn't. But
It
again,
might trigger something. It almost goes straight to Hashem, what a beautiful creature.
could be.
He's saying that it connects straight to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's not saying that it doesn't affect.
Well, that's why I'm not sure that definition is clearly what he's, at least according to this parish.
According to this parish, he sees the beauty, and it's not a beauty that threatens his neshama.
It's a Rav Kook way of looking at beautiful people. Hey, Kobe. Shalom Aleichem.
Whose words are these again?
What do you mean?
Steve doesn't help me.
Parish.
Who is this?
The parish.
Yeah, no, my question too.
I don't understand what your question is.
Whose parish is this? Is it a chevra? Is it a guy?
No. This is the top. These are the top line in the biggest Talmidei Chachamim in Chabad. But you'll see in a minute that they sing exactly what we're in clearer words. What the Alter Rebbe is going to say in less clear words. Meaning, it's not a parish. There's not one person in Chabad that differs from the understanding tzaddik v'tov tzaddik v'rala the way we just learned it. Not one. Meaning, there's no chalukah at all.
But
You want to find out, are these 21-year-old Meshichistim that are getting drunk and that they can't with a parish?
No. But are these people that are grasping from, let's say, Baba Trevor that we knew got from his father, got from his father?
Absolutely.
Or these
More than anyone else. Yeah. More than anyone else.
They haven't gone through the whole. This is like they're still working through.
They just finished 5.
They didn't have Shari Yechud Amunah because they haven't.
They haven't gone through. They're spending years and years and years on this stuff. This is big. This is one of the most monumental works. But I'll tell you, Matt, even if we took Rav Steinsaltz's Perush, or this Perush right now, this Lessons in Tanya, same thing. It's the same concept, and it's very, very different than the way that we usually understand these concepts. Listen, the biggest chalukah, the biggest distinction between Chabad and Breslov is in this Nakuda. The biggest. The concept of tzaddik. Okay. Completely different.
How so?
You'll see later on about who can become a tzaddik, who is a tzaddik.
Right, this year it's like born.
We'll see.
No
We'll see. No avonos.
We're talking about what does the Gemara say? There's 6 of them in the history of the world, something like that. Yisha.
Yeah, but he says tzaddik v'ralo
6 in
also
total.
like it has no
Quantified.
Yeah, but it's still it's a mitzias in his soul.
I'm not disagreeing.
And we're talking about soul.
I'm going off just the Perush here. I'm not.
We're talking about soul. You guys really aren't talking. You're not going off on the Perush. You're really going on. Ari, with this Perush, it's like we're reading the Alter Rebbe. It's the closest mamash. Absolutely. Yeah, it's very important. This is not like a side, oh, these guys think like this. Mamash.
Even if they have, but what's more compelling is that you said, like, no one's arguing with them. Like,
not one.
This is clear, so then becomes much clearer. It becomes the voice.
Everyone says the same thing.
Speak of, I don't know.
Alter
I
Rebbe.
don't say the Alter Rebbe because
that's okay.
Presumptuous, but
no.
The voice of all those that are trying to understand Alter Rebbe.
Okay, that makes me feel safer. But I that's fine. That's fine. Sure. Now let's continue. In the Alter Rebbe now, in the text. Uba Gemara Sof Perek Tet de Brachot. At the end of the chapter 9 in Gemara Brachos, it says Tzadikim Yetzer Tov Shoftan. By the Tzadikim, their good Yetzer is what judges them. Rishayim Yetzer Hara Shoftan. Rishayim, that they are being judged, and it basically means being like led, being mamash under the control of the Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. Beinonim ze veze shoftan. Okay, now we get the first taste of a Beinoni. What's the Beinoni? The Beinoni, he has shaykhus to both the world of the Rasha and the world of the Tzaddik. He has shaykhus to it. So here he says, then in the Gemara, igdirut chilukei madregot tzaddik rasha Beinoni kach. How did they differentiate between these different levels? She'ha'evdel benahem hu mihu hashofet etzlam. The difference between these levels is who is their own judge. Okay? Im rak ha'yetzer tov, rak ha'yetzer hara, o shnehem yachad. Is it only, see, by the tzaddik, even if he has a ra, that somehow, in the essence of his soul, his judge is the yetzer tov. So it's taken care of. A rasha, he could have good in him. But who's his judge? The yetzer hara. So the good doesn't come into be, it doesn't come out into fruition. A Beinoni?
Dancing between the two.
Dancing between the two. Mamshi, Eli, you want to say something?
Can we interpret shofet here to be government?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's even better. Nachon. And the Gemara continues there. Amar Rabba, is the famous Gemara there. Kegon ana Beinoni. Oh, like me. Rabba said about himself, I'm a Beinoni. Right? So this is the famous classic example. Amar le Abaye. Abaye says to him, Lo shavik mar chaye lechol bria. Meaning, you're not giving a chance. If you're a if you go...
Just turned around and said, we're in trouble.
It's exactly what...
It's
exactly what he said. Im ata, meaning if you're one of the Beinonim, forget it. There's no one stands a chance here. You didn't let anyone here, stand a chance. Ulahavin kozos bar hetev. So to understand everything we just said right now, and the madrigos and everything we said, we need to really clarify the depth of what these statements mean. V'gam lahavin masha amar Eov. Also understand what Eov says. Ribono shel Olam. It's brought down in the Gemara. Barasa tzadikim, barasa reshayim. You created tzadikim, you created reshayim. V'hat tzadik v'rasha lo ka'amar. But you didn't say you created a tzaddik and a rasha. You didn't use singular. You used plural. We're going to end with this. What does this mean? Look at the Perush. Bagmara ita, and the Gemara it's brought down, she'iyov bikesh liftor es kol et ha'olam kulo min adin, b'ta'ana she'i efshar le'anish et ha'adam al ma'asav hara'im. What did Eov attempt to do? He attempted to pater, to exempt the world from judgment, saying that it's basically impossible to punish man for his bad deeds. Why? לפי שהקדוש ברוך הוא שברא בני אדם באופן כזה, שחלקם יהיו צדיקים וחלקם יהיו רשעים. Hashem, you created the world in a way that you created people that are going to do good, and you created people that are going to do bad. ומי מעכב על ידך? Who's preventing you מלעשות כרצונך? אנוסים הם החוטאים, the Rashi says. They are anusim, which means they are forced. Yeah, they're forced. Perush, what does this mean? כיוון שהקדוש ברוך הוא ברא אדם פלוני רשע, according to this, if God created a man as a רשע, אי אפשר לו לאותו אדם לעכב ולשנות ממחשבתו ורצונו יתברך שיהיה רשע. He can't change God's thought that this person should be a רשע. ולכאורה, skip to the next level, and this is very hard. ולכאורה, דברים אלו אינם מובנים כלל. These words, this is not clear at all. Why is this not clear at all? Because it contradicts something fundamental that we usually relate to. שהרי אחד מעיקרי האמונה הוא שיש לכל אדם בחירה חופשית. Free choice. What do you mean he created him? This is him? לקיום התורה והמצוות. וכמאמר חז"ל שהקדוש ברוך הוא אומר למלאך הממונה על הריון אם הוולד יהיה גיבור או חלש, עני או עשיר. And like the statement of Chazal that God tells the angel who's angeling over pregnancy, if the vlad, the fetus, will be a gibor or chalash, ani or ashir. אבל צדיק ורשע לא כאמר, כי הכל בידי שמיים חוץ מיראת שמיים. Meaning it said, the malach said, this kid might be weak, this kid might be strong, this kid might be poor. But the malach doesn't say, this kid is going to be a rasha or a tzaddik. There's attributes that are difficult for him. Ve'im ken, so how could it be? Eich amar Eov, how could Eov say, you created tzaddikim and you created rishayim? Which would mean, she'ein beyad ha'adam lagia l'madrigas tzaddik b'koach atzmo. Ela ha'davar talui b'idei shamayim, which means that he's basically saying, for a person to become a tzaddik, it has nothing to do with him. He's not in his own rishus. Which is the hefech of the klal, that tzaddik v'rasha lo ka'amar, v'hakol b'idei shamayim chutz miras shamayim. Meaning, how could it be? How could Eov say you created tzaddikim, you created rishayim, when Chazal specifically said tzaddik v'rasha lo kamar? He didn't say it. Yeah, Eli. We have to end with this because we have to dive in. Yes.
This is really wrong. The idea of responsibility, right? Responsibility means I have a choice of how I'm going to behave one way or another. But when the Rebbe sets this up as a completely interior process, it makes it even worse. You are by your nature a tzaddik or a Russian. Forget about just the theory of action. Now how do you show?
Exactly. And this is just the beginning of the Tanya, of Perek Aleph.
Was this supposed to go back
to be continued tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem.
Was this supposed to go back to the introduction? The idea of like, you have both to look at yourself as a Rasha, as well as don't look at yourself as a Rasha. Just trying to see how that...
To the intro that we learned?
Yeah. No, the intro.
Oh, the beginning. Better. We'll see.
Oh.
And a lot of patience, boys. This is the beginning of a beautiful, beautiful ride. But it's huge. We'll continue with Pia Setzner right after Shacharis.